Hello, this is the Death Row and Executions channel. My name is Paco. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates and more Death Row news. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. Also, check out my other channel here on YouTube called The Maximum Sentence, where I cover recent crimes and convictions. There will be a link for that as well. An elderly married couple named Jacob and Matilda Nestor operated an engineering machine shop from this building in Miami called Nestor Engineering. On the day before both Jacob and his wife Matilda were killed, the morning of December 18th of the year 1991, a man named Victor Tony Jones, a man who just recently had been released from prison just 3 weeks earlier for other crimes he committed, had arrived at this location driving his orange-colored Toyota. It appears he was there looking for work because he was hired that day, one day before the murders of the people that hired him, Jacob and Matilda Nestor. Also working an auto repair shop in that building was a man named Ernesto Sarando. Ernesto would later say that he had seen the new employee on his first day of work going in and out of the engineering shop and washing the cars that belonged to Mr. and Mrs. Nestor. On the day of the murders, December 19th, 1991, the mechanic, Ernesto, said that both the new employee's orange Toyota and the elderly couple's Volvo was parked outside. He said Mrs. Nestor left for a short period and returned about 10 o'clock. We know from the case files that Matilda Nestor went to shop for some tools at a local hardware store that morning. We also know that Matilda spoke on the phone for a while with her daughter in New York shortly after 10 o'clock in the morning, and that Mr. Nestor spoke with a tool company representative in Kansas City about 11:20 that morning. According to the daughter and the man in Kansas City, who were later spoken to, both stated that there didn't appear to be anything amiss or unusual at the time that those telephone conversations had taken place. However, sometime between 11:20 in the morning and 12 o'clock that afternoon, sometime during that 40-minute period, the new employee, Victor Tony Jones, now on his second day of work, approached Matilda Nestor in the shop, dragged her into a nearby bathroom, and then stabbed her to death with a knife inside that bathroom. Jones then went to another area of the shop and located Jacob Nestor and attacked him with the same knife and stabbed him repeatedly. However, Jacob managed to fight him off throughout the shop, knocking over furniture and all kinds of things everywhere and making a horrendous mess. Jacob, who still had some life in him, managed to run into his office, retrieve a .22 caliber gun, turn and shoot 5 times, with one of those 4 shots striking Victor Jones in the forehead. One would think that's the end of it. 3 people dead inside that engineering shop. But the wound to Victor Jones's forehead was not fatal. Jacob Nestor fell to the floor and died. Jones turned over Jacob's dead body to be able to go through Jacob's back pockets. Now, this would be the point for Jones to flee the scene, but he was unable to because the wound to his head, while not fatal, had been serious enough to prevent him from continuing any further. He dragged himself over to a couch and sat, possibly wondering if he was going to die there. Then, at about 12 noon, a UPS driver named Oscar Izquierdo, who makes regular deliveries at the engineering shop, stopped there to make a delivery. But he found all the doors locked, which was unusual because Nestor's Volvo was parked outside and that door was never locked. The UPS driver, Oscar, would later say that he knocked hard on the door and yelled out, "Hey, UPS, I have a delivery." But he got no answer. He then opened the mail slot in the door to look inside and said it looked like a hurricane had gone through the shop. My guess is that door has been changed since 1991 because I'm unable to see a mail slot in the door in this picture. Anyway, the UPS driver, Oscar, then went downstairs and spoke to the auto mechanic, Ernesto Sarando, who didn't know what was going on. Both men then went back upstairs, and Ernesto looked through the mail slot and said that he can see a lot of blood on the floor and he can see what looks like someone's foot. So they called police. When police got there, they also saw through the mail slot a lot of blood and what appears to be someone's foot. They were unable to access the shop, so they called the fire department to break down the door. Once inside, they found the dead bodies of Jacob and Matilda Nestor. And they saw Victor Jones, and this is a quote, slumped over on the couch. When Jones was asked what happened there, he said that Jacob Nestor, his boss, got a gun and was trying to kill him, so he stabbed him with a knife. Yeah, right. A case where the knife defeated the gun. And how does he explain multiple stabbings of a 66-year-old woman in the bathroom, Matilda Nestor? So there was a gun on the couch next to Victor Jones and several items on him that belonged to Mr. and Mrs. Nestor when he was searched. Police found in his pocket a small leather wallet containing over $200, a wallet that belonged to Matilda Nestor. Police also found other personal items belonging to the Nestors in Jones's possession. The bloody knife was found in Jacob Nestor's office, where his body was on the floor. After Jones was treated at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami for the bullet wound injury to his forehead, he was arrested and charged with first-degree murder twice. 2 years later, in 1993, the case went to trial. Victor Jones was found guilty of capital murder and sentenced to death. And he is set to be put to death in Florida this year on September 30. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you're alerted when the next video comes out. You can also follow me on Facebook for updates and more. There will be a link to my Facebook in the description below. My name is Paco Rivera. Take care and bye for now.